Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Roland Wiseman Stadium. I am your play-by-play commentator tonight, Damon Simeon, and alongside me is my good buddy, DJ Kilganning. On stats, we have Andrew Gibson and Justin Reside. Thank you guys for being with us out in the stats truck. Hey, DJ, we got some good action here today. Two teams coming into tonight's matchup at 2-4. They both are giving up right about 25 points per game on the defensive side of the ball. What is your take? Pittsburgh tweeting that all white.
They really do. Really love the all-white look, Demond. And as always, a pleasure to be up in the booth with you. It's going to be a great time. And, you know, I think these offenses, it's a really even matchup, you know. And I think both of these squads can have really nice passing attacks if they get it going early. You know, Indianapolis has had a little bit of struggles in the run game, hasn't got too many rushing touchdowns, but I think it's really going to come down to which team can fly higher when it comes to the pass game.
Absolutely agree. We'll get into those statistics here in just a little bit. And we have the ball on the tee. Indy will receive the ball first here at home. And the ball is going to be well deep into the end zone. And he's going to return it out. Crosses the 25 out to the 26-yard line. Let's take a look at this Indianapolis offense. Quarterback Ethan Flowers. In the backfield, we have Chris Grant Jr., Andrew Gibson, and Joel Harleman. Along with the receiver group, Rob Hunt, Reggie Denario, Bobby Tarantino, and tight ends are Gordall Khan and Jimmy Went. And also, I can't forget about Nathan Felchi as well. Here's the man in motion. It's going to be 80, Jimmy Went. 3 wide receivers set here, single back. Looks like man coverage here across the board for Pittsburgh. We're going to hand it off, going to the opposite side downfield, only 1 yard gain. DJ, call out the defense for us.
Oh, for this Pittsburgh River Hog defense. My goodness, Damon. Defensive line, we got Moss Booker, Brian Craven, Butch Minner, and Bubba Bruiser. We'll get to the rest of those when we can.
5-step drop here by Flowers. Oh. Got a reception by Went to the 45.
Jimmy Went, a really nice catching coverage there. He was completely blanketed. But Ethan Flowers, plenty of time. He surveys the defense and thinks that's his best option, and it clearly was, making the catch right in the face of the defender. And speaking of the defender, that was Tommy Wellbrock Busey, the inside linebacker, Gino McFly and Dimitri Monzuma, the other linebackers. Tom Krieg, Todd Rigsby, Corey Minner, and Kane Vasquez fill out the secondary for the Riverhogs.
And Flowers sends a man in motion. That's going to be Khan. Pressure coming by Big 56, Dimitri Monzuma with that sack there. The first play of the game, he had a tackle on the first run play, which only allowed gain of 1 yard.
Yeah, a really nice defensive audible there. You saw the shift to the right from the tight end going out to the receiver spot. They saw that, and you were like, no, you know what? Let's bring a little bit of extra pressure, and right there, it worked to perfection.
2nd and 14. 3 wide receivers set here once again. They're going to send Denario, in motion. 5-step drop here by Flowers, going right across the middle of the field. It's Denario with the reception. 3rd and 2.
Indianapolis looks like they're really trying to target, you know, the inside the hash is pretty heavily so far. You know, finds a really nice passing lane. You have 2, you know, crossing routes in the sort of middle of the field. And that's really just a situation where you got to make the defender choose which one they want to guard in there. Ethan Flowers went off of that choice and made a great pass.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. It's like, you know, 2 quick slants right across the middle there. And Arrow basically came out big with that one. Oh, there's going to be a tackle in the backfield. And this is going to cause 4th down here for Indianapolis. Will they go for it? Todd Rigsby on the tackle. I doubt it if they go for it, and they are going to punt it here.
Yeah, probably the better decision. Going to try and pin them deep into, you know, their side of the field. And that was, you know, just a basic 4-3 look, and that could have spelled pretty badly for Pittsburgh, if not, you know, for the nice tackle by their free safety.
Pittsburgh's going to start the game here on their first possession at the 11-yard line. Quarterback Ace Finnick is going to be their quarterback coming over from Bossier City. Halfbacks Mike Churchill, BB Blitz, and Keith Wheeler. Wide receivers, Devin Lloyd, Ziggy Hornick, Ben Harrison, and Mike Twinscrew. Levy Lease and Tyler Gregory are the tight ends. We'll get to the offensive line for this group here in just a minute. It's going to be a handoff here. Right up the middle is to Blitz, and Blitz goes down after picking up 2 yards. Continuing with the offensive line, Landon Stone, outstanding rookie who every team had on their draft board with a 96 overall as a rookie coming into the draft. Taylor Minner and also Rachel Minner, along with Bruce White and St. Nebuchadnezzar, are the offensive linemen. Dump it off in the flats here to Churchill. Churchill's get a big block to the 30. He goes down.
Such a nice play there from Fennick. So much pressure was brought from Indianapolis there. Brought 7 or 8 men just on the blitz alone, to try and pressure Fennick. And Fennick did exactly what he was supposed to do. Hit that flat route. It was completely covered because everyone that could have covered him, was brought to blitz.
Devin Lloyd, second season with the team, comes up with a big block that gave Churchill the space that he needed to get into open field. He's going to go with an ace twin set here. Ace trips is the formation. Send 88 in motion. Tight end Tyler Gregory. Give it here to Blitz. Blitz breaks that tackle. 52 brings him down. No, sir.
Yeah, and for this defense, this defense for Indianapolis, they are stout on that D-line. You have Thomas Matthews, Seth Harrison, Robert Cherry, and Jack Big Boss. Finish the rest of them we can here in just a second.
2nd and 9 here. Come back to that same formation on the previous play. 3-4 is the defense. Draw play up the middle to Churchill. Churchill goes down after picking up 1.
I really like the play design there, and you see the 2 blitzing on the edge, and you try to trick them by handing it off up the middle on the draw, and the linebackers came up with a really big play to stop it there.
Gatson Jr., 2 tackles so far on this drive. Tray formation here for the offense. 3rd and 7. Can Pittsburgh get the first down? Roll out to his right. Pressure. Overthrown. Ball looks like it was intended for Ziggy Hornick. Pittsburgh is now going to have to force to punt the ball.
Yeah, a lot of pressure there in the face of Ace Fennick. Kind of just had to get rid of the ball. Didn't have another choice. And great stop there by Indianapolis and the rest of those guys. You got Frodo Laggins, Kenneth Gaston Jr., whose name you called a few times there at the end, Damon, Casper Haddock, Matthias Citrion, and secondary, you have Adam Knoll, Jermaine Menafield, King Rashid, Rick Evans, Ramnar Sudi, and King Jamal.
Outstanding. So this is going to be Indianapolis' second possession here. Only gained a total of 29 yards on the previous possession. Actually make it 30. Single back formation here for the Ramblers. Handoff right up the middle of the field. Oh, nice gain of 5 yards there before being tackled and brought down by Brian Craven.
Yeah, a lot of room to run there for Gibson.
Yeah, Gibson on the carry.
Really good blocking.
Gibson, the rookie. This is first season, no longer a rookie.
First season in Indy.
Yeah, first season in Indy. You're right. Handoff here to Chris Grant Jr. Grant coming over from Louisiana.
One thing this Indianapolis crew does a really good job of doing, of course, they have their bell cow, Chris Grant Jr., but they also have Andrew Gibson and Joel Harleman in the backfield, and they do a really good job of giving those guys a chance to shine when they can, and giving them the opportunities that that they can give up.
4-3 is the defense. They're going to do a toss play here, and it's going to be down in the backfield is Gibson. Gibson is rolled up on the tackle by inside linebacker Tommy Wilbrook Busey.
Yeah, nothing you can do about that one. Linebacker was all over that one. You send enough men and the blockers, they're just going to get overwhelmed, and you saw it on that play. Linebacker shooting the gap exactly where he needed to make the big play.
Also 3 yards on that play as well. Receiving it at the 25-yard line, breaks a tackle, gets to the 30. They're going to give him the 31.
And we're seeing some really solid textbook, possessions from these defenses so far. They're holding the offense to just a really short drives, not letting too many chunk plays go off.
Both teams coming in today's matchup averaging right at 14 first downs per game. Here is a toss to Blitz. Fumble picked up. You gotta be kidding me. He got one man to beat. He takes it. The house is gonna be a touchdown for the Ramblers. And oh my goodness, Kenneth Gatson Jr., the guy we spoke about all possession of the last possession of this defense, and he comes up big with that fumble return for a TD. Gatson, you just crossed Hollywood Boulevard.
Gaston making his way to that checkered flag of an end zone that you see there. Just such a nice defensive play to come off of the inadequate offensive possession they had, and what a way to steal the momentum, or attempt to, right from the Riverhogs, and they did a really nice job of it there.
It's a way to get your momentum going and swinging. You're already at home. You have the crowd behind you, but you get a scoop and score, therefore a touchdown to put Pittsburgh backs up against the wall. Speaks volume for the defense. I couldn't get the number of the individual that forced the fumble, but the Lids had the ball right in the hand on the inside. When you're going on the outside like that, you're always taught put the ball in your outside hand. So just in case that happens, you fumble the ball has a high percentage of a chance to roll out of bounds.
Yeah, King Rashid, I'm hearing there, is the one who forced that fumble, and great job from him. You know, King Rashid, he's just playing at such a stellar level, and definitely all-star potential there, and he's just been elite. And another elite play there, forcing the fumble and allowing your teammate to scoop it up and score.
Defense is right back on the field. 3-4 defense here for the Ramblers. Pittsburgh's going to send Gregory in motion. Blitz back in the backfield, gets the handoff, still has that ball on the inside, only going to pick up 2 yards.
Man, I mean, one thing we can definitely say about Indianapolis right now, that their defense is swarming everyone to the ball as soon as the backs get it. I mean, we saw it on that last fumble. As soon as the ball hit the ground, it seemed like Gaston Jr. was there to pick it up. And again, you see one broken tackle, and there's another red helmet there to stop him.
2nd and 8 here for the offense of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's using a lot of motion here tonight, trying to throw off this defensive scheme for the Ramblers. Ramblers sticking to that 3-4 defensive scheme. One step drop, that pass is complete for a first down. And this is to Devin Lloyd, his first reception of the night.
Yeah, another instance where we have 2 routes kind of just going over the middle of the field, and on those routes it's really hard for those corners, you know, unless they're playing heavily inside and, you know, expecting the route to come. It's really hard to catch up to them and get a hand on it. We saw a perfect example of that there.
Ace Fennick, the one-time All-Star season way back in season 16. It's the completion on the previous play. 1st and 10, exactly 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. 5-step drop here by Fennick. Goes deep but overthrows his receiver. Lower intended.
What a missed opportunity there. I don't know about you, Damon, but I think if that's just a little bit, you know, shorter and in the range of Lloyd, that I'd argue that that's nothing but green grass. That's 6 on the board if it's able to get hauled in.
I absolutely agree with your partner. Here's Fennick, 1-step drop. Got him here right across the middle of the field. It's to Hornick.
Really nice one-handed grab there, and Fennick had a lot of pressure coming from his blind side, but really didn't let it get to him. Made a really nice throw to where only the receiver could get there, and you know, that's again another instance of that man coverage corner, you know, shading on the outside rather than inside, and the slant is just able to beat it.
At the 41-yard line of Indianapolis. And there's a 5-yard gain there by BB Blitz.
There you go. Nice run to counteract the little bit of struggles they've been having so far. You know, they had the fumble earlier, and you just gotta keep at it. You know, Blitz has 5 attempts right now, only 11 yards to his name. Not too common for him, but I expect they're going to keep trying to get to him.
I formation here. What I'm very impressed about is that Indianapolis I was just about to give him kudos for being in this 3-4 defense. But no, Mike Churchill changed that right there. You get the smaller back and weight wise, and Mike Churchill basically just busts right through the middle of the defense as they were in that 3-4 scheme. Here's Finnick once again going across the middle of the field, and that's the Greg Lloyd, 1 yard shy of the first down.
Yeah, and going back to that point you made, and that is one positive thing about being a lighter guy. You're able to slip through those smaller holes made by your offensive linemen and make a hurdle over a guy and, chug along and get a bunch of yardage. See if they stick with it.
Churchill has been in the SFL for 8 seasons. His second one here with Pittsburgh. And I want to say this is his second season as a halfback. Moved to the halfback from the wide receiver spot over a year ago.
And I will say now, Blitz, hasn't had too many breakaway runs, but in his defense, more often than not, he's breaking that first tackle. It's just a matter of Indianapolis having so many guys around him after he breaks that first tackle, just not able to do much.
From the 11, spin move by Churchill, outstanding move, rolls over a guy, gets down to inside the 4.
Man, and it's such a polar opposite running back room for these guys. Mike Churchill, just so elusive, quick. You saw it on that spin move, and BB Blitz, he's going to hit somebody. He's going to go out there and try and cause as much pain as humanly possible. And it's really working pretty well when they switch it up.
Five men on the line of scrimmage, and an additional 5 in the second level of the defense. But let's break 2 tackles and gets into the end zone. Does a little shimmy and a shake.
He's getting down.
Look at that. Get down. Looking like Ernest Givens back from the 90s.
Looking good out there. And talk about that physical running. Gets the pitch, shrugs off the man, and crosses the
Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, there you go. It crosses into the end zone, crosses that beautiful checkered flag end zone for the Ramblers, and ties up the score if this one's able to go through the uprights.
Since we're right here on there's the extra point attempt. That kick is up and it's good. I was about to say something that didn't have anything geographically to do with the location of Indianapolis. And the reason why that's because with this game engine that we're playing on, the stadium that Indianapolis plays in is Soldier Field Stadium, which looks fantastic the way they have transformed it to not look like Soldier Field. And I was just going to say that Blitz took a swim into Lake Michigan. But, before, as I was getting ready to say that, I was like, Indianapolis is nowhere near Lake Michigan.
Close enough. He might just be gone for a quarter or two. I think he might be able to make it back.
Nice stiff one there by Gibson.
Yeah, getting aggressive out there. And Gibson's been doing his returning days, did it a lot for the Canton Classics where he was their mainstream return man and kind of bringing that energy into Indianapolis after he has made the switch to running back, previously a wide receiver.
A lot of running receivers are moving to running back, as we've seen over the past few seasons or so here. Here is Flowers. That pass is caught, crosses midfield as well. And Went has been his big target. I want to say that's down to the 49-yard line. If it stands at the 49, that's a 19-yard gain.
Yeah, he has. And really, for a rookie, that's such an impressive throw. I mean, just threading the needle in between the two defenders there. It was such a tight spot to fit the ball, but he managed to do it.
That's the end of the first quarter. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented to you by the Virtual Football Network here on YouTube. So the ball is going to be inside of the 48-yard line. So that's going to be a 20-yard pickup on the previous play. Here's Flowers again, overthrown. That pass is almost intercepted. Kane Vasquez got his paws on it.
He did, and Kane Vasquez with 2 interceptions on the season, 6 pass deflections in his name. Going into this week, led the team in total pass deflections. He is a menace out there on the defensive side, and despite the ball, getting overthrown, I mean, he was there to make a play, just not able to.
2nd and 10. Ethan Flowers underneath the center. Hand off here to Gibson. Gibson's going to lose a yard. Tackled by a host of River Hogs. 55, Brian Craven. Coach Craven is what they call him on the tackle.
I'm not sure if I like the play call there. I mean, at least you getting tackled for loss. And, you know, the strong side of their offensive line was really left open from the defense, but nonetheless, they choose to run it up the middle, and it really just didn't work out.
You put a lot of pressure on your offense as well here on 3rd and 11 to try to pick up this first down. And Wentz once again down to the 34.
Going
14
back
yards
to
for
the game.
Wentz.
And that's what your tight ends are for, right? They have 3 of them on the roster, and the leader of them all, Jimmy Went, just, you know, those tight ends, they're going to make those tough catches in traffic, and we're seeing it right now from Jimmy Went, putting on a prime showcase of it.
1st and 10 here for Flowers. They're going to say he was down at the 33. 15-yard gain there. And there's another reception. This time is to Reggie Dinero.
Yeah, Dinero there. A great athletic play to jump up in the middle of his route and hole that one in. And Ethan Flowers, you know, he withstands in the pocket, makes a nice throw before, you know, Dinero is able to get up to that safety level. And it's really just a textbook play. And, you know, after converting on that 3rd down previously, you got to be feeling good now.
To the inside of the 22-yard line. Indianapolis is putting a great drive together here after Pittsburgh marched downfield to score on their last drive. And the running back gets tied up and he's down. And that's going to be Chris Grant Jr.
Uh-oh, that's just, you hate to see that. And, you know, Chris Grant Jr. going down, that means Andrew Gibson and Joel Harleman going to have to be the guys that are going to have to carry the load for the rest of this game, because Indy, they've been running the ball a decent amount, and let's see if Andrew Gibson, can shine out in this chance.
Here is 2nd and 11. Flowers going to send him in motion is going to be Went, who has been outstanding so far in this game with 3 receptions for 51 yards. Where Indianapolis tend to keep it in the air. Pressure by Flowers, throws off his back foot. That could have been dangerous. Almost intercepted by Demetria Monzuma.
Definitely a scary one. Ethan Flowers rolled out to the left, dropped back off his back foot, and tried to hurl it across the other side of the field, and was only able to meet Monzuma. That's an unfortunate one. Making it 3rd and 11 again for the 2nd time on the drive. They were able to convert last time. Let's see if they can again.
Oh, look at this here. They flood the right side of the field by bringing the halfback out of the backfield in motion. He's going to stay in to block. Now he goes out on a little drag route. Flowers pressure. Goes down for a sack. And on the tackle is going to be Moss Booker.
Moss Booker with a huge play there. Getting their first sack on the season. Congratulations to Pittsburgh. You know, this team really isn't known for getting those types of sacks. I mean, coming into this week, they only had 2. But right there, they did it when they needed to, and just pushing Indy out of field goal range. Wow, that was a great play there when they needed it.
Yeah, unfortunately, we will not see the field goal unit here for Indy.
Oh.
Whoa, will they call this at the 1-yard line? I think they are. I think they'll give it that.
I think they should, and they do.
It's inside the 1. Oh, wow. 1st and 10 here for Pittsburgh. This is going to be interesting here, folks.
Gotta think you have to see a run right now, and with
Look at that. Look at that top right-hand corner ball.
Wow.
Pittsburgh 0.
You don't see that very often.
No, you don't. They're going to go handoff here to It's a safety. Indy comes up big. We may not have got 3, but we got 2 out of it.
Yeah, unable to get the 3-point, but I'd argue this is better. They're going to get the 2 points and get the ball back. Number 32.
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get tied up.
Wow. And, you know, I was going to talk about it before that play with the struggles he's had, and not even really struggles, just Indy's doing such a good job of just getting to the ball, getting so many heads on it. But right there, it didn't even matter. Rick Evans shot the gap completely alone, and the cornerback was able to bring down B.B. Blitz without a second thought.
Here's a kick return from the 15 out to the 45-yard line. Indy is going to have outstanding field position. Tarantino on the return. You just bring out Ethan Flowers, who just put a great drive together, unsuccessfully was unable to get into the end zone. But they have outstanding field position to start.
Yeah, and shout out to Vita Lee. Great punt on that last punt, setting up the opportunity for the safety.
Here is Flowers, gets pressure on the backside, and is caught and complete to Rob Hunt. The big man going up to get it, 6'6", 240 pounds.
Yeah, big man is no joke. Looks like a tight end out there. And again, that's another needle thread throw right in between two men. And when the ball is that perfectly on the money and you trust your receivers enough to come down with it, that's going to work all day.
Look at Flowers, the rookie, 6 of 8. Only 2 incompletions here on the night. Another 2-step drop, dump it off right across the middle of the field.
Back to
Last play went for 25.
Yeah, back to Winton. I really do like that play call there, Damon. More often than not, they've gone with that little slant over the middle we've seen so often. And that time they kind of change it up. They run that same sort of slant look, but instead of keep going, they stop right on the hitch, and it worked really well.
26, fullback dive to Joel Harleman. They're right up the middle. I mean, no one touched him until he got to like the second level, almost the third level there.
Yeah, and when you have that I-form look kind of in the backfield, you got to think that it's going to be a run, and right there it was. But Joel Harleman had so much room to run because that line wasn't very packed that, I mean, like you said, wasn't touched until he got the first down.
Picked up the first down, 11-yard gains there for the fullback, and here is Gibson on the carry. He only picks up 2.
And Monzuma on the tackle. Those two know each other very well. 2 former Canton Classics that would have been in the locker room at the same time. And if I'm not mistaken, they might have been drafted in the same draft class. Don't quote me, but it could have been. And right there, really big hit between those two.
Send the man in motion to the top of the field. Hand off here once again to Harleman. He picks up additional yardage at 3rd and 2. This is where you want your offense to be on 3rd down. You want to be 3rd and absolutely short. Yep. You know, you don't want to be 3rd and 11 as on the last drop. They were twice. Only picked up one of those 3rd down conversions of being 3rd and 11.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the handoff here up the middle. Picks up the first down. And that's going to be to the backup halfback, Najee Davenport.
They're going to take that one up the middle. Yeah, and now it's 1st and goal. You got 3 opportunities, and even if they don't, they're certainly in field goal range this time. And for a team that's kind of struggled with the ground game, they're really killing it so far.
5 men on the line of scrimmage here for the Riverhawks. 3 linebackers, and Gibson goes down. Tried to bounce that one outside. The middle of the field was wide open. If Gibson stayed committed to the assignment of the run, which right off guard, he probably walks in across the goal line untouched.
Yeah, and when you're such an elusive back like Gibson is, it's second nature to try and bounce one to the outside. And oh, there we go.
There's a fullback toss, and he jumps over the goal line and picked up the TD for this Indianapolis Ramblers offense. There's Dag Strongworks. No advertisement there for the blimp.
Harleman chugging in there like an old V8. Just bursting onto the scene, hitting men, dove into the defending Riverhog there, and was able to put his 2nd touchdown into the end zone there and give Indianapolis, with that field goal, a 9-point game.
Yeah, the 6-year veteran gets into the end zone, crosses Hollywood Boulevard for the first time today for himself. And Indianapolis, as you stated, has a very comfort lead here. 2nd quarter, 4 minutes and 46 seconds left here on the clock. Can the Riverhawks respond back?
Yeah, now it's certainly a 2-possession game, as they're going to have to get a oh, what a spin!
Here's Lord. Tackled and brought down at the 41. The 2025 SFL convention kicks off the league's 25th anniversary season, July 10th through the 14th. Join SFL Nation at the rooftop pool of our host hotel, the Hyatt Regency, looking out into Baltimore's inner harbor. You can reserve your room now at the special group rate at simfl.net. And here come the Riverhawks at their very own 41.
More motion here for Pittsburgh.
And it's Gregory in motion there. BB Ballett's the halfback. Another off-tackle play. I don't think off-tackle is BB Ballett's strength. And that's not a knock or negative on the individual. So I just think that the style of this running back, I mean, especially by the running back being 245 pounds, you're running off-tackle, I think you may want to have that particular back going up the middle of the field.
Yeah, and right there they had two defensive ends basically right on top of each other, and the tackle can only block one of them. And we saw it right there.
3-3 nickel defense here for Indy. They send the middle linebacker. Pass is incomplete, intended for Lord. 3rd and 12.
Yeah, not a terrible throw, but King Rashid was all over that one. Some great coverage again, and yeah, just making it 3rd and long again. And this Riverhog offense, they got to make up some ground, but you know, they're one of the best teams in the league when it comes to big play potential. We'll talk about that a little bit more later.
And Pittsburgh is 20th in the SFL in 3rd down conversions, only about 5 per game. There's a pass intended for his receiver. Mike Twinscrew is incomplete. Tipped by the linebacker, Kenneth Gatson Jr.
Yeah, and we've said his name so many times. Had the touchdown earlier, and another huge play there, able to get his paw on that one. And, you know, when you look at this Riverhog squad, you know, they have a lot of talent when it comes to the receiving the receiving room. And Ziggy Chronic and Mike Twinscrew are usually the guys you look at in that room. Mike Twinscrew, you know, top 5 in the league in yards, top 5 in touchdowns. And, I mean, to counteract that, Ziggy Chronic's had a really solid season, but you can't forget about Ben Harrison. He has 3 catches on the year, but 95 yards. He leads the entire league in yards per catch with 31.7. What a stat.
Wow. Indianapolis coming to today's matchup, averaging right at 16 points per game, and they've already met that mark. Here with 16 points on the board already here in the second quarter. Handoff here right up the middle of the field is going to be to the backup halfback of Najee Davenport. Pittsburgh averaged about 25 points per game. Defensive, Indianapolis gives up 24. Pittsburgh gives up 27.
These guys are just such an even matchup, Damon. They really are.
Yeah, they are. 2nd and 5 here for Indy. Handoff.
Oh.
And it goes down. Tackled by the inside linebacker, Tommy Wilbrook Houston.
Yeah, and he didn't give that one any room to develop. And, you know, shout out to the coaches over there at Indy. I really like how, you know, even with the injury of Chris Grant Jr., they're not, you know, swaying away from the plan of running the ball too much, and they're still doing a really good job of it.
Okay, I'm sending the fullback in motion. There's another toss here to Davenport. Davenport tackled right at the line of scrimmage. 4th and 2. And Pittsburgh forces a punt here with Corey Minner on the tackle.
Yeah, and I don't hate the play call there. You know, you kind of motion the fullback over to the weak side and, you know, try and trick the defense into thinking maybe the run's going to the right side, and they pitch it back over to the left, but Minner was not fooled in the slightest. And now Pittsburgh going to have just about 2 minutes, 20 seconds after this punt to try and get some points on the board. And Damon, we talked about how explosive this offense is and the big playability from these guys. And, you know, we're going to have to see some of that right now. Maybe try a little bit more of an aggressive approach on this one.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I think they got to be aggressive, you know, as well. Yeah, they had really got to be more aggressive. I want to say in the passing game, they really haven't.
Absolutely.
They haven't really targeted receivers as much as far as going deep. And there's a passer, Devin Lloyd. How did he catch that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Lloyd, I mean, he's been targeted a few times, and, you know, they had that, if you remember from that very first, you know, the first quarter, they tried to go to Devin Lloyd over the top, and it was overthrown. It would have been a touchdown, but, you know, besides that, they've really only thrown over the middle. Their longest reception of the night, only 12 yards, and only 4 receptions to Pittsburgh's name tonight. 5, including the one to Mike Churchill, excuse me.
It's going to be the 2-minute warning there. Both teams have a total of 9 passes between the two. But Ethan Flowers is looking the best out of the both quarterbacks at 7 and 9 for 77%. Finnick is 55% of 5 for 7, 5 for 9. And that is a run there by BB Bellez. Another off-tackle run by the big back.
Yeah, and I mean, you had said it pretty well. Try and stay between the tackles. And, you know, with their approach now, it kind of seems like maybe they're just trying to let the clock go out, reevaluate things at the half. And nope, never mind. Change that narrative.
And it right down the field to Hornick. Crosses midfield as well.
There we go. Ziggy Hronick getting himself involved with another big reception. His last one was for 12 and getting another big one there over the middle of the field, able to beat his man across the field and catch it right before the safety got there.
It should be his longest reception of the day, 19 for Hornick. Thank you to our stats guys in the stats truck. Andrew Gibson and Justin reside. Here is BB Bellez to the outside, goes off tackle. Forget what you say, Damon Simeon. I'm going to keep running off tackle.
Chugging along like a Freightliner. I mean, it's just, you can see how big he is when he's running to the outside. And with his size, it's not to say he's not a quick guy. You know, when he gets a break to the outside, he's going to take off and he's going to have a lot of momentum.
Absolutely. We just saw there was open field on that off-tackle play there, and he just showed the speed once he got outside there. 3rd and 3. That pass is going to be incomplete or broken up by Jermaine Menefield.
Yeah, Menefield coming into this week was, you know, around 1st in the league for pass deflections. Could have been tied for it, but he's up there, and you know, he's playing at an all-star level. He's been absolutely dominant.
I'm going to go empty formation here. Finnick got a reception caught. Mike Twinscrew, timeout.
There we go. Mike Twinscrew getting a hold of one there. He's been targeted a few times, but now is finally able to haul one in over the middle. And here we go. This is the steady sort of drive we needed to see from Pittsburgh if they were going to get some points on the board. And now they're in field goal range. But of course, if you're them, you want 6.
I'm going to go doubles right here. Dump off to the tight end, and that is going to be a catch reception for 5 yards. Levy Lease on the reception.
Really like that play call there, DeMond. As you called out, doubles right. You know, try and take all the attention from the Ramblers onto the right side of the field, but they pass it off to the flat, go to the tight end, and it worked really well.
I'm going to go empty formation here once again. 3-2 is the defense. Dump off to the tight end again. He dropped it. 3rd and 5. He had open field. He could have picked up the first down and stepped out of bounds to stop the clock, which would have saved 2 timeouts for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, went to the same exact type of look there. And that time, just unable to hold on to it was Lease, and you hate to see that.
Nice break. It looks like we're going to get pressure from 42. No, he's going to back off. On the other side. And he goes down. See? Harrison almost took his head off.
Golly, what a sack. That one just put his full weight down onto the QB when he brought him down. My goodness. And thankfully with the sack, still in confident enough field goal range.
Seth Harrison, my goodness. That should be illegal. This kick is up and it's no good. Pittsburgh misses it wide right.
Wow, that's gotta hurt. That is going to be the first missed field goal for him all season. And it came right when you needed it not to.
Field goal attempt was by Otis Boudreaux. And I am checking that season record here. And here is Gibson with his best run of the night there.
Yeah, Bordeaux, I mean, his longest is 51. He has the longest all season long, and he can nail those types of field goals. Just maybe the jitters. I mean, you're not going to make all of them, of course, but you know, you hate to see him missing that in that instance.
Up until that kick, he was 6 for 6, 100%.
Yeah, been perfect
on the season. That would be his first miss. It's going to be a toss play here to Davenport, and Davenport goes down, took a shot to the face. by Demetria Monzuma.
Yeah, Monzuma's looking really solid on the run defense. It seems like more often than not, he's one of the first guys to get to the ball.
And that's going to do it, folks. That's going to be the half. Watching the Simulation Football League here on the Virtual Football Network. And DJ, Indianapolis has basically been in complete control of this ball game.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny because when looking at this matchup, it's such an even contest, right? Both teams 2-4. You know, they have really similar stat lines, you know, and it's kind of just, it's going to come down to the little things. And right now, besides the fumble, you know, from Pittsburgh that was recovered for a touchdown, there hasn't really been, you know, a whole lot of slip-ups, but that one was enough to kind of jolt the momentum in Indy's favor, and they've done a really good job of not letting it slip back.
Yeah, looking at the stats here, as we're in the Breaks GPT halftime show. Let's take a quick halftime break presented by Breaks GPT.
We just pulled a full-size Taylor Swift helmet. Shout out to all our Swifties. Travis Kelce. This is a Giants Lawrence Taylor.
Patrick Mahomes.
Chad Johnson with the Ocho Cinco.
We have a Drew Brees.
Is that an O.J. Simpson jersey?
It's an Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my goodness.
Tom Brady! Tom Brady!
Back into the world of sports memorabilia, collecting with Breaks GPT, featured signed football jerseys, helmets, photos, and more. Breaks GPT offers you the shot at winning autographed and authentic sports memorabilia at a fraction of the price. Join the community and collectors on our Breaks GPT Facebook page and lock in your shot at hitting a humongous headliner on our site. That's breaksgpt.com.
You know, and every time I see that, I've been thinking of, you know, if that was a thing for the SFL, you know, those sort of breakaway, you know, things, and we could pull players' jerseys from here, you know, who I would react, like, you know, when he pulls that Tom Brady helmet, I wonder who I would react to if I was to pull there. You know, DR Sim, definitely up there. If I got some memorabilia of his, you know.
Matt Wilson. It's Matt Wilson.
I love it.
See that, dude. Here's a two-step drop here by Finnegan. He got a grab for 7 yards to Devin Lloyd.
Yeah, really nice catch there in coverage, and really solid coverage there, but just still able to haul it in.
Oh, man. Now you got me thinking about a bunch of SFL players.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a thought.
Here's a handoff here to Beliz. That's what I'm talking about right here. Right up the middle, picks up the first down. Wasn't touched until you got to just about past the second level.
Yeah, and he's kind of slipping through blockers there, makes his way to the right, cuts back to the left, and buries his shoulder into a man before he gets brought down for the first. Nice, tough running.
Four 3 defense here for Indianapolis. There is Churchill. Churchill with a nice 8-yard gain.
Yeah, Churchill, you know, slipping to that. Yeah, they're kind of going into the, I think we saw the same thing. That made us chuckle. But they're giving Churchill the run to the outside. He gets a few yards on that one, break it away, and it's a nice run there.
Eddie Gage, pick 6 ball. Robert Henson, if you find it, let me know. I think the entire SFL would want that ball. No.
Glad we were laughing at the same thing.
Maybe it was the practice ball. Maybe that's what it was.
Could have been. Back in his heyday when he was a 5-star prospect. I could see it.
Oh, my goodness. Here's Finney. Oh, my goodness. What a pick by
Oh, my gosh.
You need to stop. I'm telling you, Kenneth Gatson Jr., you need to quit.
You're kidding. Oh, my gosh. Well, first, Landon Stone going down with an injury. That is such a huge loss. You talked about how impactful he's been all season. But my goodness, Damon, that was the greatest interception I've ever seen. Arguably one of the greatest catches I've ever seen.
And the injury basically took away the instant replay on it. But
Yeah.
my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Kenneth Gatson is playing like he wants the player of the game trophy. That pass is over. Intercepted by Cain Vasquez. Flowers was looking to give it away.
Vasquez almost took all the momentum away from Indy, but if you're Indy, you've got to be fired up right there. You see Gaston make a play like that, and that doesn't want to make you go onto the field and put some points onto the board. It's got to. And they're already on the other side of the field. It isn't going to be hard.
At the 45-yard line, 2nd and 10 here for Indianapolis. Split backs are the halfbacks. Here is Harleman. He's going to pick up maybe 2.
Now Monzuma again sniffing out that run early and putting a stop to it. And, you know, coming into the half already, starting to split the looks a little better, passing early, running early, and now it leaves him with 3rd and 7.
I think that, oh man, that comment just got me chuckled. Here is down the field. He's finding his security blanket, and it's Went down to the 30. I mean, Went has basically been the man all game long for this Indianapolis receiving group.
Yeah, he really has, and just doing such a good job. I mean, he's got more receptions than everyone else on the squad combined, and that's no fault to their own. He's just Ethan Flowers is just finding him open and hitting him when he's open.
5 receptions for 70 yards for Went. In motion is Harleman. Hand off here to Gibson. Gibson with a nice 4-yard gain there.
There you go, a little tough run there from Gibson, and as they chug along closer and closer to the end zone, probably going to see more running plays like we did in that other touchdown drive that wasn't from the defense. And you know, as they get closer, it seems like they really do like to run a lot more.
24-yard line. Here's a toss play here to Davenport. Davenport goes down after picking up a few yards there, maybe 2.
Man, and talk about big backs on the other side. Harleman is such a big body. And at the fullback spot, you think of those guys as bruisers, and Gibson just had that run up the middle, kind of doing the same thing as Pittsburgh and kind of switching up the roles a little bit.
If you're just now joining us, Chris Grant Jr. went down earlier in the game for Indianapolis, and there's a 1st down pickup by Gibson.
And there's another one, giving it to your smaller back up the middle, but right there, seemed to work out really well. And a huge gap for him to run through and kind of slip past a few extra defenders to break away for that 1st down.
Cain Vasquez come through like a heat-seeking missile to stop Gibson in his tracks, but it's too late. He already picked up the 1st down. There's a pull there by the tight end. Davenport picks up 3.
And it seems like now that, I mean, like I said, they're getting closer and closer going back. I mean, now it's turning into a pure run look, it seems, and exactly as planned, I imagine, for Indianapolis as the D-line shifts a little bit there.
2nd and 7 here for Ethan Flowers. This has been mostly a run-heavy drive. Gibson picks up a yard.
See, now in that instance, that's where I would love to see one of those runs to the outside and try and let Gibson bounce one of those to the outside, because we know he wants to.
36, I say you pass here. They do come out in a bunch formation here. 5-step drop is Ethan Flowers. Right across the field. Incomplete as it was intended for Rigo Dinero.
Now, Reggio Dinero unable to haul that one in, but not to a fault of his own, thrown right into the way of Cain Vasquez, and he's looking like prime Dave Bautista out there with that hit. My goodness, burying him into the turf. And, you know, if Indy's in range now, it's going to leave him with another field goal.
Yeah, I tell you, I mean, Cain Vasquez come hit me at my mid session. I'm not trying to catch that ball either.
Yeah, I would have stayed down. I certainly would have.
As I would quote the great Ricky Waters, for what?
For what?
Try to catch that ball for what?
You're going to try, and with that shoulder in your chest, it's going to be hard to succeed. I'll tell you what.
Absolutely. But here we have the kicker for Indianapolis knocked down. That field goal attempt there.
Now Pittsburgh, you just need some points this drive. You got to think, Demond.
Yeah. I mean, the defense of Indianapolis is doing an outstanding job because Pittsburgh only had one great drive in this game, which goes back to early in the second quarter or so. Outside of that, Pittsburgh really haven't put up any good drives, and they're holding Pittsburgh defensively to not get things going to even come close to what they average in points per game.
Yeah, doing a really good job of holding them, and it's really, you're able to really tell the difference. I mean, just really shutting them down to a standstill, it seems.
Here is Finnick. Finnick got Harnick right across the middle of the field. That picks up a first down for the Pittsburgh Riverhawks.
Harnick able to find room in the middle of the field and made a great catch and pretty decent coverage there for Indy. And if Pittsburgh can continue with that sort of passing momentum, we could see a decent little drive.
1st and 10 here for Pitt. There's Finnick numbers on the day. 10 for 17 for 105. Do a pick early in the game. I'm waiting on him to hike the ball. What is he waiting on? That pass is caught. Maybe made some adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Told Twin Screw, hey, do not run the curl route. Go for a little post down the middle there.
Yeah, and Twin Screw definitely having an all-star caliber season there as he rolls out to the right and, says forget it, throws it all the way across the other side of the field and makes a nice catch. And there's some stats you can see there. Really, I mean, despite the scoreboard, I mean, it's back to that word I've used so much, just an even matchup.
As I stated, Pittsburgh only averages about 5 third down conversions. They're doing pretty good here so far. This little first down pickup, it's 12 for Pitt, 10 for Indy. These teams are getting going here.
Yeah, they're looking like a new squad right now, leaning more to the pass, and they're catching a lot more of the ones in traffic.
Yep, they are. Harrison goes in motion to the top of the field. He has 2 traveling with him. Wow, they don't want him to get anything. Finnick takes 1 step, has to take another one for the pressure there, and that pass is intended for Lease. It's broken up.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said anything about making the catches in traffic because right there, Kenneth Gaston with great coverage again, making sure they don't have another play, and he's been all over it.
Well, Gaston is just being Gaston. I mean, ain't nowhere. Continue to have games like this. Every GM and organization leader will be knocking on his door this offseason, trying to poach him. Gaston does come on a blitz. That pass is caught by Lord for the first down.
There we go. Another pretty decent pass look down the field, and again, it's one in coverage. The man was, pretty glued onto him, but it's another great catch in coverage.
Mm-hmm. Here we are, 1st and 10. Right at the 14-yard line. Is Indianapolis going to ice spread? Give it to Belitz off tackle. Goes over a defender to pick up 3 yards still in the carry.
They said forget us up in the booth. Even if they're going to run to the outside, BB Belitz is going to put that shoulder down and run a man over. My goodness, what a hit.
2nd and 7. Down the field, incomplete. Intended for Lease.
Lease, who's, besides that one drop on the little flat route earlier, has had a really solid game, and that's just another example of Indy just playing great defense. And it seems every time a pass is thrown, it's just there's somebody there.
Yeah, they haven't allowed Lease really to get anything going. As you stated, had that one reception earlier where she picked up 5 yards off a little fade route. Not fade route, my apologies. A little dump off route. Yeah. Pressure. Down goes Finnick. It's Seth Harrison.
There, and his second one on the night. Only had 1 coming into the week, making it 3 now, leading the team. And another rough sack, putting all of his weight into the hit. And Well, they still in field goal range is Pittsburgh. Let's just see if they can knock this one through the uprights.
32-yard field goal attempt. Here for Otis Boudreaux. That one is up and it's good.
Said not going to miss twice, and excited after making one. And I can only imagine how difficult it is for a kicker, to come out and miss a field goal you can make and have to go back out there and do another one. I can't imagine it's easy, but Otis Boudreaux was, he was really locked in after that first miss and nailed that one.
Everyone, you're watching Simulation Football League action here on the Virtual Football Network. This week, it's SFL tonight through Sunday. UFL is back Monday and Tuesday. SFL M action returns Thursday, and SFL Week 9 kicks off next Friday with Mike and Gerald at 7:45 p.m. Eastern, right here on an exciting week of VFN. First and 10 here for Indianapolis. I spread formation. 4-2 nickel defense. Handoff here to Gibson. Gibson tries to spin to go inside, but Corey Minner comes in to lay the wood. No, sir. Down you go after picking up 2.
Laying the wood is right. That was a really hard hit, and Gibson kind of went down. He was kind of twisted and corkscrewed, but he was able to shake it off, get back up, and after a really tough run.
Gibson, 22 yards, only averaging 2.2 yards a carry. A 5-yard run was his longest of the day. Here is Davenport. Davenport, the backup halfback, gets the first down here for Indianapolis. First and 10 for the Ramblers.
There we go. And it's a next man up mentality. Of course, you hate to see any player go down. You really do. And hopefully Chris Grant Jr. is able to come back at some point in this game, and we'll be able to see him on the field again. But if he isn't, we're seeing some shining spotlights from these backups.
And off here right up the middle of the field is Gibson. Gibson picks up 7.
And that's just a nice display of ball carrier vision. It wasn't a huge hole, but he found it, broke through that front, 4, and cut to his left to find another one, and eventually got down after a gain of 7. Nice run.
And off here to Davenport, picks up the first down. Tackle right at the 45-yard line.
And they're looking really, really good. And Najee Davenport is one of their halfbacks, but he doesn't look like a halfback. Damon, that dude is big. That's a beefy man.
Here's a draw play here to Gibson. Nowhere to go.
Nowhere at all.
Well, Brock Busey.
Man, you got them big offensive linemen up there, and sometimes, you're not going to be able to fit through those small holes, and we saw an example of it there. Gibson got stuck behind his linemen and just nowhere to go.
Here is Flowers. Flowers with a little spin move back there. Dumps it off right across the middle of the field. No first down game. Rigo De Niro on the reception. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Everybody put your forwards up in the chats. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by, I keep saying presented by, there is a presented by, but I want to say here on the Virtual Football Network. I'm just so used to saying presented by because we used to be presented by APM Music for so many years.
Yep. Hard to break those habits.
Absolutely. Oh, that pass is almost intercepted by Corey Minner. Forces the 4th down in Indianapolis to punt. Pittsburgh had an outstanding drive on the last drive, DJ.
Yeah, they did. And Flowers coming out with a little bit of a fourth quarter heat check, trying to find a man far down the field. And only man he was able to find was the hands of Corey Minner, and it falls down for an incompletion, but could have been a lot worse. Now let's see if they can get another solid punt.
Ball is hanging up there. My goodness. Out there forever.
Looking like Tony Hawk out there with that kind of hang time.
How many likes do we have so far on this video?
Not enough, Demond.
Not enough. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you've got notifications on So you won't miss a minute of SFL, SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. The stats line are just so close.
Yeah.
There's Ziggy once again with another reception. Pittsburgh has basically been throwing a lot of post routes.
Yeah.
But they're really not post. They're quick slants.
Yeah.
Just like 5-inch slants. Yeah.
Yeah, just short ones over the middle, and they're able to haul it in and kind of just gain a little bit of more momentum to push them forward for the first down, and it's really working. You pointed it out, and I can only imagine the stat sheet shows them dominating over the middle of the field.
They average 6.9 yards an attempt on the pass. Here is Billets. Billets picks up 4 yards there. 2nd and 6.
Yeah, and I mean, that's your ideal run, right? Everybody talks about it. The 4 yards, if you can do it every play, you're going to look good. And, right there, that's a good start.
2nd and 6 here at the 31-yard line of Pitt. Indy brings pressure right across the middle of the field as a reception by Lease. 2nd reception of the day.
Didn't look like a first down, but they're going to give it to Lease. And I certainly wasn't expecting a pass there, and it didn't look like Indy was either. They completely had everybody on the line, and they said forget it. They sent everybody out, and it worked.
No retro challenge attempt by the defense. Here is Finnick. Toss play to BB Billets, and Billets goes down after picking up 1 yard. I mean, it's Gatson.
Yeah, who else on the big tackle there? And that was a lot of power behind that tackle. And I did want to point out, Damon, King Jamal is silently, with 8 tackles, 2 PDs. I mean, it doesn't seem like we've called his name a lot, but he's really showing out.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's Billets again. And on that tackle is 25, Adam Knoll.
You kind of saw it on that last play. King Jamal was one of the first 2 people to reach that ball carrier. Another one of these guys that came over from Canton. And King Jamal, he's leading this team in tackles, so shouldn't be surprised that he's having another great game.
You're right. There's a rollout here by Ace Finnick to the left side of the field. Got Ziggy on it, right down the middle. Picks up the first down inside of the 50. Looks like right around the 42-yard line.
Yeah, another play that, he ends up finding his man right in between the hashes, right there on that hash, and it works to perfection again. They found an area of the field they're liking to work, and maybe found a weak spot in the defense that they're able to take advantage of coming into the half and the final quarter.
Ziggy on it, 6 receptions, 85 yards here on the day. High spread here by the offense. Looks like pressure to the top of the field. No, he stays back. Oh, that's big stiff one. Get a block by the outside receiver. Picks up a gain of yardage down to the 25.
There we go. Seeing some of that acceleration from BB, and he's able to have a huge stiff arm, giving him a little bit of taste of the turf there as he's able to get his way for a first down and then some with that nice run.
Outstanding run there by BB Billets. Stat sheet's going to give her, looks like 15 on the game there. Here's a handoff here to Churchill. Churchill goes down, loss of 1. Couldn't see who was on the tackle, but outstanding play there by the defender.
Yeah, and that last run, that was the longest run by anyone all game. And now they're going to have to bounce back after a loss of 1 on that play.
The last 2 drive by Pittsburgh has been pretty good. You're right there, partner. Oh, there's a blitz. A nice block there by the fullback.
Nice job. Nice job there by Indy. The middle linebacker there for Indianapolis made a little audible at the last second and kind of shifted the defensive line to the outsides rather than the inside, left a gap in the inside, but it didn't matter because they ran it to the outside, exactly what they expected, and they did a really nice job of shutting it down after a short game.
Hawks come out in a 2-2 quad set here. Here is Ace Finnick, gets pressure. Nice catch by Ziggy Horner, and Ziggy has been the man on the last 2 drives.
He has, and he is really having himself a solid season, and got to give a shout out to Finnick. Withstood the pressure really well, and after he let go of that ball, he was hammered again. And if I'm not mistaken, pretty sure it was Seth Harrison who laid that hit. And I mean, I'm not even down there on the field, Demond, and I might have some nightmares about him tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep with an ice pack.
Yeah, that's right. Get some icy hot too.
First and goal here for the Riverhawks. You're going to see Ziggy Hornick in motion to the left side of the field. In the backfield is BB Ballett's 5-step drive. That pass is caught. Going to be to 81, Ben Harrison.
I like that play call there. They send a extra man to the left side of the field, and they kind of bait out to let the QB know that it's man because they had a man follow him to the other side of the field, and that's another instance of Phoenix staying tall in the pocket and getting laid out after a throw.
We're going to go big jumbo package here for the offense with a total of 3 tight ends on the field. Plus the fullback Wheeler, toss to Ballette. Ballette's down to inside the 1.
I really, really like the play call there, Demond.
Yeah.
On that defensive front there for Indy, they had 8 men in the box, and they had the corners, guarding the outside. But if you're BB Blitz, I know you'd much rather go against one corner than a handful of guys and able to chug for a little bit of yardage.
Everybody at the 1-yard line.
It'd be a huge play here. Let's see.
And I go to Churchill. Churchill gets the touchdown score, and he crosses Hollywood Boulevard for his first touchdown today.
Yeah, first touchdown today and first one this season that he crosses Hollywood Boulevard, and a really nice play call there. You see Mike Churchill in the backfield, and maybe you think they're going to try some sort of pass, especially after the motion, and maybe they're going to try a pass, maybe they're going to try and run it to the outside, and they didn't. They ran it right up the middle. They did what they needed to, and they got the touchdown.
Yeah, the extra point attempt there is good. Pittsburgh is only down by 2 points. Let's remind everyone, DJ, that earlier in the game, there was a safety converted by Indianapolis. Pittsburgh was at their own 0-yard line, and there was a run play attempt to BB Ballette, but unfortunately wasn't able to get out of the end zone, and the defense came away with the tackle.
Yep.
And that's how Indianapolis is here with 19 points. I mean, Pittsburgh has looked outstanding the last 2 drives, basically kicking the ball out of home way through the air, getting Ziggy Hornick more involved in his passing game, and BB Ballette's looking good, along with Mike Churchill getting the touchdown on the last drive. Here's pressure by Pittsburgh. That pass is caught by Rob Hunt.
I love that decision there from Flowers. If you look back at that play, there were a trio of Riverhawks. Looked like they were all holding hands like it was Red Rover. And, Ethan Flowers saw that. He was like, you know what, let me throw it up to Rob. On the other side of the field, we've seen him come down with those one-on-one ball, one-on-two balls all night tonight, and he gets the opportunity there and cashes.
Let's not forget about the missed field goal by Pittsburgh early in the game as well. Pittsburgh would have a 1-point lead if that field goal converted earlier in the ballgame.
Yeah, and like you said, looking back at it now, Rick Evans going to get a pat on the butt for sure. Was the one who came up with that safety, on that huge play, and it looking right now to be the difference maker.
Mm-hmm. Brian Craven looking to bring pressure. Maybe he's bluffing. Who knows? We'll see here. He does backs off, deep drop back into coverage. That pass is caught by Hunt. And Hunt has been the go-to receiver here for Indianapolis.
Yeah. And, kind of have the little corner route there. Makes the, corner there back off. Todd Rigsby, the safety, back off the coverage a little bit. And Ethan Flowers did a really good job of able to find it in. And right now, throwing 65% right now is Ethan Flowers.
Ethan Flowers, 6 of 10 on his last 10 passes, 87 yards. Not bad. Going to be a pull by the guard there. And Davenport, he drops the shoulder, put it right in the sternum of Corey Minner.
God, lifted him off the ground with that hit, Damon. But even with that, was able to drag him down after the big hit, and that's all that matters in the end.
Mm-hmm. 2nd and 4 here. I'm sorry, 2nd and 6. 4-yard pickup. There's another toss here. This time it's to Gibson. Gibson, he's going to lose a yard.
Man, they're all over that.
No, he gained 1 yard.
I'm liking the change in tempo right now for Indianapolis. You know, they don't have a lot of time on the clock. They could tote the rock and just chew the clock away, but to start the possession, they're really pass heavy.
See here, 3rd and 5. Ethan Flowers gets pressure. Sidearm throw is broken up. Oh, what a shot by Todd Rigsby.
That was a huge play there. I did not expect Rigsby to be able to break that one up, but he did. And, shout out to the blocking there from the back in the backfield. I'm not sure who it was, but they saved Ethan Flowers from a big hit. And there was 2 guys just breathing down the neck of Flowers, and it seemed like the back was able to block both of them off.
Yeah, here's a fair catch here for the Riverhawks as they get ready for their not last drive, but for this drive here. See if they can take over the game and with the lead here. Week 8 of the SFL. Week 8 of the SFL season 24 rolls on Sunday. Headliners. Oh, this was from Saturday. Sorry, my apologies. It says Friday games only. Here is a handout to BB Billets.
Oh.
Billets goes nowhere. Tackled right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and that
There's no Monday Spectacular this week. But week 9 of the SFL kicks off Friday with the Matt Wilson weekly kickoff show at 7:45 p.m. Eastern. Before 3 games around the league, Baltimore, Arizona at 8:30 Eastern, plus Mexico City, D.C., and Sin City, Houston in the late window at 10:15 Eastern night. Eastern right here on the Virtual Football Network. My goodness, man, those 3 games are just outstanding in itself. Here is Finnick hit as he throws 3rd and 10, and Indianapolis brought the pressure.
I'll ask you, Damon. Who do you think laid that hit?
Was it? Don't tell me.
It was Harrison. It was Harrison.
Oh, Harrison
again. Laying a tough hit on the
He has been outstanding coming around that left side.
He has.
He's giving that right tackle fix tonight.
Absolutely.
And Finnick rolls that way. Gets a reception from Twin Screw.
Yeah, and there we go. A big play to convert. And, one thing to point out with the domination that Seth Harrison has showed on that defensive line, you look back to the injury of Landon Stone. I'm not positive if he's back in, but maybe that's playing a part in with how much their pressure they're getting.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I absolutely forgot that Landon Stone went out. And there is Billets on the tackle. On the carry, picks up 2 before being brought down by King Jamal. Jamal has 10 tackles in this game.
Double digits. And I don't blame you for forgetting that injury because it was the same play where Gatson made that incredible interception. So I kind of got outshined a little bit. Oh, my God.
Wow. Talk about playing some backyard football right there.
Yeah,
Churchill tried to jump over and hurdle over a player, but he got gored.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, man. Trying to do his best Saquon impression and jump over 2 men there, but it just meets a wall.
I don't know if I should say Bill Goldberg's gore or Roman Reigns' spear,
Yeah.
Quads formation here. Ace Finnick. That pass is caught by Devin Law. It picks up the first down. Pittsburgh is moving. 59 seconds left on the clock, though.
You gotta see some, hurry up. You gotta, take a look at the clock and realize, if not a timeout, you gotta at least, bring some, hurry. You only got 40
seconds. You're right. They run the ball here to Billets, and Billets is tackled right at the 40-yard line. Now we see a timeout here. I could see them taking their time if they were across the 50.
Yeah, but they're not.
If they're not, yeah.
All they need is a field goal, really. The safety leaves them room to get the field goal, but even with that, that was a great way to put it. They're not even past the 50. Running's definitely not advised.
They come out, and another quad set here. They send Devin Lloyd in motion. Zone defense here. There could be an opening. They flood the left side. Phoenix, that pass is tipped by 54. Robert Cherry.
Way to climb the ladder and get his mitts on that one. That was showing off the vert of the big D lineman there.
That's why teams have been having their defensive line progress jump.
Oh, yeah. Shows right there.
If your GM give you a suggestion, progress jump, don't send them a message. Why? That's why right there. That's why.
Listen to those guys.
You know what? Someone click that and say, this is why right here. Hey, he's spinning. That pass is incomplete. 4th and 7. That was intended for Ben Harrison. Can Pittsburgh convert the 4th down?
And there we go. Finally going to give him some credit. King Jamal was completely blanking in the coverage, and not to mention him leading in tackles, Damon. He's also leading in pass deflections.
Pittsburgh is 1 for 4 on 4th down conversions this season for 25%. Here's Ace Finney. No pressure. The pass is incomplete, intended for Levy Lease.
And Ram Sudi with the play that basically is going to put the dagger in it. And gosh, and you kind of look back at that drive, and Pittsburgh just wasn't playing with, the sort of hurry that they needed to. And I mean, it definitely looked like it bit them, but when they needed to, they were definitely slinging the rock. But I mean, maybe just too little, too late.
And my apologies. I said Lease was the intended receiver. It was Ziggy Hornick who missed the catch. And I mean, that was just the ball was thrown behind the receiver, but I really didn't see any pressure on the quarterback for him to throw that ball, because I mean, Hornick was he was covered.
Yeah, and
the ball placement was just bad. It was just bad ball placement there.
That might be just the scenario of trying to get it to your best guy on the night. I mean, Hornick had the most receptions, had more receiving yards than anyone all night, led the entire game in receptions, period. And, I mean, tried to go back to old reliable, has been all night, and just didn't work out.
Well, that does it for tonight's matchup, everybody. The Indianapolis Ramblers take care of business here at home against the Pittsburgh Riverhawks. Hey, man, what a game. And Pittsburgh fought back. They only allowed 3 points in the second half to Indy, and Indy just could not stop Pittsburgh in the second half of giving up 10 points. But that safety comes into play, as well as the missed field goal from Pittsburgh. Those 2 plays were the turn of the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And, my game ball, there were so many solid players. I mean, Ethan Flowers was, 61% completion, played really well, but I got to give it to Kenneth Gaston. Not all of it was on the stat sheet, but had the scoop and score touchdown, had the greatest pick I've ever seen. I've got to give him the nod there. Yeah,
I will most definitely agree with you on that, as well as King Jamal with 11 tackles and 3 pass deflections. Outstanding performance. Well, that's going to do it for us here in Indianapolis. I was your play-by-play commentator tonight, Damon Simmons, alongside me, my good buddy, DJ Kilgannon. And hey, everybody, DJ, say goodnight to the people.
Y'all have a good night. We'll see y'all later.
See you when we see you. Peace.